everyone, welcome to another episode of MathWiz. For today's lesson, we'll be learning how to calculate the profit and loss as well as the selling price for certain items. So we'll be using a formula, which I have. Selling price is equal to the cost price plus the profit, or in the event that you would have made a loss, it would be your cost price minus the loss. Now, to better see how this formula comes to life, let's work the question placed on the CXC website. Of course, if you don't have the link to those questions, please check the description below. So they would have told us that we bought a pen for $60 and made a gain of 20%. Now, the selling price is equal to, as we said, the cost price plus the gain or profit. So another term for profit is gain. This would be our $60 plus or gain of 20%. But of course, we will not write 20%. We need to calculate what is the dollar value of 20%. And how do we do that? Well, you take the amount, which in this case would be your cost price, and multiply it by 20%. Now, as I said in previous videos, you cannot actually use 20%, but you must use the decimal representation of 20%. And how do you do that? Well, whatever number you're given, you will divide that by 100. And another way to look at dividing by 100 is simply to move the decimal places 2 places to the left. So instead, our question now becomes $60 plus, as we said, the gain would have been 60 times 0.2, which gives us 12. So our selling price would be $60 plus or gain of $12. The question on the CXC website, however, did not ask you for the selling price. It merely asked you for the gain. In the event that you're only asked for the gain amount or the loss amount, you will use this calculation. If they go a step further to ask you for the selling price, you will then need to use the formula. As you can see, because we have a gain, our final selling price must be more than the cost price. We will then use this same question to show you what it would look like if it is instead we had made a 20% loss. So we buy the pen for $60, and this time we make a loss of 20%. So the selling price will now be equal to the cost price minus the loss amount. To calculate the loss amount, it is our cost price of 60 multiplied by the same 20%, which, as I said, we represent in decimal form as 0.20, which gives us the same amount of $12. So going back to our selling price, we then use $60 minus $12, which gives us $48 as our selling price in the event we would have made a loss. It is important for you to note that if it is you have made a profit or a gain, your selling price will be more than your cost price. So if you make a profit, your selling price will be greater than your cost price. In the event you make a loss, your selling price will actually be less than your cost price. I hope this explanation helped you to work out the question. Of course, remember to comment, let me know what topics you're having a problem with. Should it be this one and you're having a more, there's another question that's maybe more challenging, more difficult, and you want us to work it out, just put it in the description below, and I'll go through it in another video. Of course, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell a friend.